From the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, this is the EntreLeadership podcast, where I take calls from leaders just like you at any stage in business and leadership, and I'm here to help you level up and move on to the other stage. I'm your host, Dave Ramsey. I've been doing this business stuff my whole adult life, running Ramsey for over 35 years now. And so we're glad to have you. We're from the trenches, we're from the ditches, and sometimes we actually keep it on the highway. So thanks for hanging out with us. We're going to not give you think tank answers. We're going to give you real practical stuff that works. If you want to be a caller on the show, we'd love to have you. The phone number is 844-944-1070, or go to EntreLeadership.com/ask. Travis is in San Francisco. What's up, Travis?
How's it going, Dave?
Better than I deserve. How can I help?
So I am in a pretty interesting circumstance. Actually just got laid off recently from my engineering position with Tesla. And I'm looking to help my parents out in my father's HVAC business in Las Vegas, Nevada. I'm going to be moving out there to help them with that and also help them so that they can go serve a church mission hopefully this year. And so this year I need to prepare myself in developing my business skills as a manager and in understanding and growing his business. I worked with him in the past throughout college and high school as being a part-time apprentice, a technician, and helping him build up his business, getting him digitalized in QuickBooks and various things like that. The company is right now about 4 technicians, including and then also my father. He spends probably about 25% of his time managing the different jobs, and we revenue about $650,000 a year.
Okay. All right. And how can I help you?
Well, I'm just trying to figure out how should I set up this relationship with going into business with my father. Is this something that if he's going to be away for, say, 2 years, do I need to become a co-business owner? Do I need to establish anything in writing? What type of best practices should I exercise with him? I know he's my father. He's one of the best people I know. But I just want to make sure that I'm doing it right so that I don't develop any bad blood between him or even his employees.
Yeah.
I
think the big thing is unmet expectations or assumptions is where when communication breaks down like that's when we have anger and frayed relationships and those kinds of things, whether it's with team members or with father or whatever. So I got that you're going to move in there for 2 years, run it for him because you just lost your Tesla gig while he goes to the mission field. What's the long-term play?
So the long-term play for me is I want to get his company into a self-managing, self-running company where he has managers for his technicians being able to supervise jobs. We have somebody in the office being able to take calls, make sales, and that he is able to step away from an owner-operator, which he's already slowly been doing. But
what are you going to be doing 5 years from now?
5 years from now, either be able to be in that same position as more or less a owner, mm-hmm. and hopefully, if it's able to run itself, be able to be more of a serial entrepreneur and establish other things. I mean, coming from engineering, it's kind of hard for me not to want to solve problems and to be able to create new things. And so I can imagine that long term that I don't know whether or not growing his business that he's had for the last 25 years is something that will be able to scratch that itch long enough or more or less be able to grow it large enough that it'd be something that would keep me interested, or if it's something that I'd like to just help out with and then move on to something else.
Okay. All right. Well, I think I would start with your relationship with him then and sit down and say, in person, and I need the 10 things that you absolutely want to have happen while you're gone. And I want to give you 10 things that I want to see, that I want to be able to do while you're gone. Okay? In your case, you're trying to get the thing where it's operationalized and not running so hand to mouth, which probably means you're going to double your volume, because you're probably not running enough volume to run all the support staff that you're talking about right now.
Yeah.
And so,
I would say that we need to at least double it, get somewhere closer to like 1.5 million.
Yeah, you get in that 1.5 range, then you can start talking about some office staff and some sales staff to support, and a layer of management to run the techs, and then a general manager to run the whole puppy, and it becomes operationalized, and you can take your hand off the steering wheel, right?
Right.
But you're going to have so part of it is, Dad, I'm going to grow it, I'm going to operationalize it, I'm going to demand excellence, and I'm going to love these people well. And because your dad's going to be real concerned about how you love these people, because he's a lover of people.
Yeah, 100%.
I know that because he runs a small business and he's going on the mission field. I know he loves people.
Mm-hmm.
And one of his fears is that you might be too tough.
Right. And coming in and trying to optimize things a little too hard.
Well, you're a systems guy, and he's going to want you to remember there's blood, guts, and feelings in there too, not just systems. Right. And so you can't engineer your way to this. You have to work with humans to get there. Mm-hmm. Then if I'm you, what I'm going to do is I'm going to sit down with the team as soon as possible and start asking a lot of questions about what we can do to make this place better, what we can do to make it more to make everybody make more money, what we can do to make the place make more money, what we can do to do a better job and have less frustration. Don't be coming in there with answers. You don't have any answers, but the people out there doing the work, they got the answers. Be very curious. Go on a listening tour. It represents humility and service on your part. Real leaders serve. And your job, you're going to be serving them by removing people that won't work, by removing people that are toxic, by adding people who are high character, high quality, hardworking thoroughbreds, and adding systems and processes that allow this thing to get operationalized and get to the next level. Basically, your dad's hanging on by his teeth at what we call the Pathfinder level. And then, if you want to move up from there, the problem you have at the Pathfinder level is you have a lack of clear direction. He's just still trying to make payroll by Friday, and he's not thinking about clear direction, and you're stepping in with a clear direction. I'm going to double this thing, and I'm going to operationalize it in 24 months.
Yeah. I feel like I'm pretty lucky with my wife. She's working remote, so this move is not going to be as hard for her, and us moving to Nevada and then dropping a lot of our expenses down allows me to be able to come in this as a pretty low cost,
and then
be able to
clarify with your dad what his expectations, what he wants you to be doing when he comes home. Because if he has this dream that you're going to take this over and be in that office every day and run it for the next 10 years, you both need to know that that's his dream. I don't know if it is. But if it is, you need to know it, because it was not your dream that you described to me a minute ago. It's not what you want to do. So you want to get it up where it's self-sustaining and operationalized, meaning you don't have to run it every day. You don't have to go over there and put out fires. You've got a fireman on board, and so you can go be serial entrepreneur and do some other stuff. So your goal, your job, your dream is not to be running a heat and air company on a daily basis 10 years from now. He needs to know that. And you need to align your expectations, your goals, your dreams, your desired future with his. That way nobody's mad when you come out the other side. So lots and lots of communication between you and him up front, details, and then you talk about how you're going to get paid, whether you're going to get an ownership position and how much power you've got. I mean, if he comes home and you fired 2 of these people, what's he going to do? Is he going to freak out? You didn't have the power to do that. I didn't say you could do that. Well, then you told me to run it. What's that mean? Well, you see, that's the kind of stuff you got to align on ahead of time. Have I got the power to hire and fire? Have I got the power to make some systems changes? Have I got because if you don't, you're not going to be able to do what you're talking about. You're not going to be able to double it and operationalize it. It's not going to work for you. So really lots and lots and lots and lots of clarity. And then you enter both of these conversations with asking questions and curiosity and humility and service. And if that's your mentality, you're going to be just fine, Travis. This is the EntreLeadership Podcast. Here's a math refresher. There are only 24 hours in a day, so you and your team need to streamline time-consuming tasks to focus on the activities that make money. Smart businesses are realizing that to reduce headaches as they scale, they need NetSuite by Oracle. NetSuite is the #1 cloud financial system, bringing accounting, financial management, inventory, and HR into one platform. With NetSuite, you can reduce IT costs because it's cloud-based. You can cut the cost of maintaining multiple systems because you've got one source of truth. It's a big deal. And you improve efficiency by bringing all your major business processes into one platform, saving time and cutting manual tasks and errors. So join the more than 37,000 smart companies like Ramsey Solutions that have done the math and are boosting their efficiency with NetSuite. And right now, you can download NetSuite's popular KPI checklist designed to drive the right behaviors for your business. Absolutely free at netsuite.com/Ramsey. That's netsuite.com/Ramsey to get your own KPI checklist. If you feel like your business runs your life more than you do, then it's time to do something different. You're on a fast track to burnout if that's you. And you got to make some time to work on the business, not just in it. My friend Michael Berger, who wrote The E-Myth, that's what he says. You have to work on your business, not just in your business. And the EntreLeadership Master Series is the best place to do that. Master Series is a crash course for small business owners on how to grow a successful and a sustainable company. You're going to hear practical leadership lessons on hiring and firing, delegation, team unity, compensation, and strategic planning. This stuff is the meat and potatoes of running a business and of leadership. And every lesson is taken directly from actual wisdom that we've gained over the 30 years of doing this business myself. Master Series is happening November 10th through the 15th here on our campus at the Ramsey Events Center in Nashville. It is almost sold out. There is less than 100 tickets left. So don't wait. Go to EntreLeadership.com/Master Series and reserve your seats now. Dustin is in Philadelphia. Hi, Dustin. Welcome to the show.
Hello, Dave. How you doing today?
Better than I deserve, man. What's up?
I am the owner of a small interior demolition company. I have 3 employees, to include myself. We gross $400,000 to $500,000 a year. I spent the last 3 years training someone to take over my day-to-day management so that I could move closer to my family, about 2.5 hours away. After I made the move, I find out that the gentleman can no longer work for me due to health reasons. And now I am trying to fill that position. I can't find anyone who's willing to, to fill in for that. And I don't know whether I should continue searching or sell the business.
What's your day job?
That is my day job. Right. Currently, I'm driving 2.5 hours every day. 5 hours.
What were you doing when you moved away and he was running the company?
Part of the interior demo, I also do complete house teardowns. So I was doing that. The last year, actually, I was more or less getting our house ready to sell, to move.
So you weren't working?
Not every day, no.
Well, I mean, if you were working, what were you making? What were you doing?
Yeah, the last year, when I was working, I would be running the excavator, tearing down houses.
At the new location or the old location?
I'm sorry, the old location.
Okay.
Everything is at the old location.
So you were still coming back and forth?
Correct. We're currently, after we moved, and then I found out he couldn't.
I got that part, but I'm trying to figure out what your plan was. Where were you going to?
I was 2.5 hours away.
I know. What were you going to be doing?
Move to a new location and start new work there.
What?
Demolition.
Oh, you're going to do the same thing there?
So, yeah, I'm sorry. Same type work, different area.
Okay. Yeah, sell it. Yeah. Do you have equipment?
I do. I have excavators, trucks, tools.
Mm-hmm. Why don't you just take them with you?
It was an established business in that area. 12 years in business there, and I just didn't want to.
Yeah, but I mean, you could just sell your customer list.
Yeah,
because you're going to go over to the other place and buy equipment. And right now, what you're getting ready to sell with a $400,000 business that does not have a manager running it, really, you're going to be selling your equipment, and your customer list is about all you're going to be selling. Because I can't buy, if I'm an absentee investor, I can't buy this business because it won't operate.
Yeah, that's what I've been looking at.
Yeah, so you can't sell it. You're going to end up selling off the stuff. And if you're going to sell off the stuff and then turn around and buy the same stuff over at the other place 2.5 hours away, just load up the truck and head to Beverly, man.
Well, the equipment I could take, the interior demo work is a lot more manual labor for like renovations of residential homes.
Yeah.
That I don't want to get back into.
Okay.
And that most of my equipment is tied up in the portion I do want to take with me.
Okay, then take the equipment and sell the customer list.
Okay. I didn't see it being that valuable.
What kind of profit? Well, I mean, what's the equipment all worth if you sold it?
If I sold
all of it,
about $200,000.
Okay. So that's the book value of the business. Is $200,000, and you grossed $400,000. This business won't bring $200,000, so it's worth more breaking it up than it is trying to sell it.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and I just take my $200,000 worth of equipment and go start me a new demo business over 2.5 hours away near family. Net goal is achieved. You're not getting money in your pocket, and it's going to take you a little while to get things going. And hopefully, you can sell a customer list or work with somebody over there, maybe a competitor that would buy a little bit of something from you, what's left of the business other than the equipment, that includes your employees going to work there.
Gotcha. Yeah, we don't have any competition. We have a niche little market here. We do a lot of high-end work for high-end contractors.
Well, one of them may want it.
I've been asking around. I've been putting the word out for 6 months now, and just haven't gotten any good feels on it.
It's a very tough thing to sell a business in this situation. It really is. And so basically, if you were just going to go to work for somebody doing whatever, something completely different over in the new place, then I would tell you to just sell your equipment there because it's going to bring more than this business will bring. And basically, you're shutting it down and breaking it up. And that's called a book value, meaning what can you sell the assets of the company for? Because the company doesn't have any value as a going concern because there's no manager to cause the profit to happen. That makes sense?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So I think you're going to be. I think you're having an equipment sale, and in your case, I don't think you pick up a piece of equipment and you sell it out of the 200. Maybe sell $50,000 worth and take 150 with you. You got that $50K in your pocket to get you up and going in cash and get you some operating grease in that other market because you need some grease. It sounds like this is squeaky. But I mean, you have never hesitated to jump on the business end of an excavator and start tearing something down. And so it won't take you long to get to tearing something down if you've got an excavator over there. You know how to do it, and you've done it before, and you know how to talk the talk and walk the walk, and you know who is the customer. You know where to go find them. You're just going to be doing it in a new location, and it's going to take you a little while longer to build up word of mouth. But you just got to go knock on the doors of the builders, the contractors, whoever it is you're dealing with is doing this stuff, house movers, wherever it is you're doing demo, and just start talking to all of them, and then start swinging that excavator around everywhere and making a little money. But I think you're going to spend a lot of time of your energy and calories running back and forth for no money. And so I'm not going to spend any time running back and forth. I'm just going to close this thing, take the equipment, sell one piece, take 50 grand, put it in my pocket, and go over to the other place and set up 2.5 hours away and start a business. And I think you're going to end up making more money that way than you do any other thing you do. That's what it sounds like to me anyway. That's the problem where a business is not making even $1 million yet, top line. Both of these calling in this hour, one was 650, one's 400. It's hard to get to scale. You're stuck there at that what we call the treadmill operator stage, which is where you're doing all the work, and if you don't do all the work doesn't get done. If you don't show up, nothing happens, and that means you're stuck on a treadmill. And the way you get off of that is you grow the business in size enough that you're adding team members, and then the business doesn't 100% rely on you. And his exact problem is the business relies on him. The first guy, his dad's going to the mission field. The business relies 100% on his dad. It's $650,000 top line. And so those are treadmill businesses. Now, it's not a top line thing, except that it's harder to get enough people on board when you're not bringing in any more than that to get the delegation to occur. But the way you break the back of being a treadmill operator and level up to Pathfinder, stage 2 of the 5 stages in the EntreLeadership system, is you've got to get the income where it's not all dependent on you personally. Now, in Dustin's case, he's going to go over, and he's going to start over at Treadmill. We all start at Treadmill, just about. But then once he gets that going, I want him to start adding people and create some bench depth on people who can do work when he's not on the job site, people who can get work going when he's not there to do the sale, and all of that. So where all the revenue is not dependent on one single person. That's what we're doing. Hey, this is the EntreLeadership Podcast. I'm Dave Ramsey, your host. This is the EntreLeadership Podcast. Thanks for hanging out with us. If you want to help us out, please consider hitting the subscribe or the follow button. Share this show, tell people about it, or hit the share button on the platform that you're watching or listening or consuming this podcast. Thank you for that, and thank you for your 5-star reviews. All of those things help us get bigger, badder, and quicker, and help more people just like you. Again, if you want to be part of the show, leave me a message at 844-944-1070 or go to EntreLeadership.com/ask. Anthony is in Detroit. Hi, Anthony. How are you?
Hi, Dave. How's it going?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
Dave, I'm the president of a commercial real estate brokerage firm here in Detroit. We currently have 5 W-2 employees and 13 1099 contractor salespeople. Mm-hmm. I've done your assessment. I'm currently in the Trailblazer stage, and I also am the largest producer within my office. I'm a salesperson also, and out there in the field kind of pounding the pavement every day. And I do have a partner in the business. He's currently 67, and over the last couple of years, we've been talking about succession and buyout and moving forward and kind of giving him a succession plan to move on. And I understand the valuation that has been discussed multiple times on your show, 3 to 4 times net earnings. And my question is
net profit.
Net profit.
Yeah, not
correct.
EBITDA. Yeah, okay.
I apologize.
That's okay. Just making sure.
Top line last year was about $3 million.
Mm-hmm.
Net profit landed somewhere around $250.
Okay.
And one of the concerns that I'm having,
and each of your real estate agents, they made their own money. That's not even in the equation.
Correct.
You split with them, or they pay you a flat fee for officing?
They split with us.
Okay. And you split with the office as the top producer as well?
Correct.
Okay. All right.
So, but my concern is that, I could frankly go sell anywhere at another firm. Mm-hmm. And I'm having a little difficulty understanding that I'm going to pay 3 to 4 times net when, frankly, I'm by far the largest producer.
I'd pull your number out.
So I want to bring in one little wrench here, and although we've done this very well, my partner in the business happens to be my father.
Mm-hmm.
But we have a very good relationship. We follow very closely. That at work we got our partner hat on, and on Sunday dinner, he's my dad and my best friend.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I feel he helped me start the business. He took a leap of faith and helped me start the business, and I do feel he's due his fair share as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to be fair to both parties here.
Mm-hmm. Okay, but there's two things going on. Okay, you're a salesperson that's the 800-pound gorilla. Okay. And so if I divorce myself from everything and I'm just doing an analysis from a business perspective only, and I said, okay, I'm going to come buy your company. The only way I would value it based on $250 is if you were under contract to stay. Because if you leave, the valuation changes. That's why I said pull your number out. And so, because here's the thing, you can take your real estate license and set up. Are you a broker or an affiliate broker?
I'm a broker.
Okay, so you're the managing broker already, probably. So you could just take your shingle, go next door, rent a $3,000 a month tiny space that's very nice, and you're a one-man band, and you would make how much? Because you'd make all the commission. You wouldn't be splitting anymore. You'd make bank.
I'd probably make more.
Yeah.
I do currently get paid a salary on top of my split, but that salary is for running the office and managing the other 12 brokers or the other 12 agents.
Okay, so the volume of real estate sold is what kind of volume? How many millions of dollars are sold in? I guess you're doing commercial leases as well, right?
Yeah, so we do leases and sales. So our gross commissions earned were around $3 million, which,
Okay, that's gross commissions earned. Okay, and how much of that did you earn?
So my production always lands around somewhere between 700 to 800,000.
Okay, so you're let's call it $1 million. You're 1/3 of the whole production. Okay.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's unfair because a real estate company is a unique business model. It's way different than a heat and air company or something else in that you've got all these independent subcontractors working for you that are creating this revenue, and if you blink, they bounce and go to the next guy. And so it's a sales operation is what it is. And so the sales team is what matters. And the problem in your scenario is that you're not operating as an owner primarily. You're operating as 1/3 of the sales volume. And so I think it's very fair to your dad to value this, the $250 at 65% or 70% of that $250.
Okay.
Because it wouldn't be there if you're not there.
Is it fair to me as well?
Yeah. Yeah, because if we compare that to you going next door you're the ultimate treadmill operator by yourself, maybe with a personal assistant you hire or something like that, but you go on vacation, nothing happens. You get sick, nothing happens. At the end of the story, nothing happens. You die, nothing happens. You get disabled, nothing happens. That's the ultimate treadmill operator, right? In this case today, you're 1/3 of the treadmill. And so what you're building is a sustainable business here. And if I'm you, I want this business instead of my own shingle, because I can hopefully over time not be 1/3 of the revenue. Hopefully I can grow the revenue through hiring and training and mentoring more and more team members, agents, and the whole thing doesn't count on you. Now, you may enjoy the hunt, you may enjoy the deal, you may enjoy the negotiation, and you want to do some of it. That's fine. But from a business model perspective, the less of it that counts on one person, the less risk there is in the organization. Because also right now, this organization would be crippled if you were sick.
Yeah, it definitely would hinder it. It would hinder production. Now, I do have multiple, I'll call them juniors beneath me that I work with and am able to take vacations comfortably and am confident that my team is committed to my clients just as much as I am. So
I'm not questioning that. But what I'm saying is the day that we don't have this conversation and you're not 1/3 of the revenue is the day you're in a better place.
Yeah.
And so that's what I want to move towards. So for that reason, I do want to buy this. And for honoring your dad and the process that got you to here, I do want to honor him. So it's fair to you. Yeah, to say, instead of, it's $150,000 we're going to value this on, or $160,000 or whatever, instead of $250. And so, Dad, this thing's worth $500,000. Something like that, right? I mean, that's what we're talking about here. And instead of it's not $1 million. It's 4 times 600, maybe 700, whatever. But it's not $1 million. And and I'm going to pay you a large percentage of the revenues until we get to that number, and that's going to be your retirement. You're going to take that money as I give you those big chunks, and you're going to reinvest it. Meanwhile, I'm going to build this thing where it operates and isn't as dependent on my personal production to create this wonderful $250,000, $300,000 net profit.
Yeah.
I think that works. I think that works for everybody. It's very fair. The rub will be if he doesn't think it is. And here's the thing. A third party buying it is not going to give you any more value than that because you are so much of the production. And in the real estate business, I'm very aware, because I grew up in this business, that you can leave and go set your own shingle out. And that's how some of the 100% commission residential, where they pay a flat fee and they get 100% of the commission instead of a split. That's how those residential things were born. The first one to ever do it was RE/MAX, that I remember. And I started in the business in 1978. So, but that's how that was born, is it kept them from all the producers from going, because, they get big and then they go hang out their own shingle, start their own company. Get big, start their own company. So you're constantly losing your best people in the former model. And so you've got to figure out a way to solve that problem as you go, and then get this thing grown, get enough volume coming in here that's not all based on just your work. So, hey, very good question, man. Very good. Sounds like you guys got a great business and a great relationship, too. Congratulations. Very well done. This is the EntreLeadership Podcast. Thanks for joining us, America. We love small business. That's what EntreLeadership does. If you're a business person and you've got 5 to 200 team members, you're the backbone of the American economy. We'll wave the flag, drape it over you, and say, way to go, great American. This is how it works. And some of you have created businesses out of the weirdest, most nuanced, tiny things, and you're making millions of dollars, and I'm so proud of you. Way to go. You're giving people jobs. You're causing the economy to move. You're awesome. Thank you. Thank you, thank you for what you do. We're here to serve you. It's what we do. The phone number here, if you want to be a participant, is 844-944-1070, or go to EntreLeadership.com/ask. Daniel is in Chattanooga. Hi, Daniel. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
So I work at a land surveying business. We have 4 employees, not including the 2 owners. Our revenue was a little over $600,000 last year. And my question is, in a little less than a year, I'll be licensed to be able to own my own business and operate under that licensure. My question is, should I wait to purchase this business when the owners are ready, or should I go ahead and start my own in the next year or maybe 2?
When are they going to be ready? You have any idea?
Yeah. So about a month ago, we started having these conversations about purchasing the business. One owner is 64 and the other is 60. The one that is 64 is all in on me purchasing the business. The one that is 60, however, wants to wait till he's 67.
How old are you?
I'm 27.
And how long have you been surveying?
8 years.
You've been working for them the whole time?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. I think I hear you saying you don't want to wait 7 years.
Yes, preferably that would not be the case.
Yeah, I agree. That's too long.
Okay.
For you. It's perfect for him, but it's too long for you. But maybe we, and he wants to keep working. Does he actually go in the field and do surveys still?
No, so he works in the office, mainly drafting, and working in the office there.
So
but
like
does
drawing
work.
out plats?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. So maybe we do a hybrid, okay?
Okay.
Where he stays in the office 7 years, but he's not an owner for 7 years.
Okay, meaning he would work at the company.
Yeah, the 60.
with me
Yeah,
owning it?
well, and maybe he's a partial owner, and his ownership is being bought out gradually over the 7 years. And the other one you start working on immediately. Like so, are they 50-50 owners?
So they have the same split, and then their mother owns 10%. So I assume it's 40-40.
Okay, two brothers.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm just making this up on the fly, but what I'm talking about is kind of a hybrid thing. So brother number one is 60, and you want to buy out his 40% and his mom's 10%. Okay?
Yes.
And,
okay.
And before we buy out brother two. And so what we're going to do is we're going to take all the revenues that come in, past you barely making a living, and brother number one's going to get his 40% of the revenue profits, but you're going to be off the other 60%. You're going to throw it all at mom and brother number one until they're bought out. And that's probably going to take you. That's probably going to take you 3 years.
Okay.
All right, and at that point, he has agreed contractually to transfer his ownership to you, and over the following 3 years, you're paying him out. Meanwhile, he's still working there on a salary. Now, that would entail, number one, they agree to these buyout terms to pay them out of profits until you get clear. But number two, the younger brother that wants 7 more years is going to have to understand that immediately you are the majority stockholder. You have 60% of the stock, and you're his new partner. And then 3 years later, he's not going to be an owner at all. He's going to be an employee for his next 3 years.
Okay.
And he's got to be emotionally okay with that and financially okay with what that represents. And so, and you just keep him on. He's just he's a draftsman, and that's his exit ramp into retirement. His last 2 or 3 years, he's sitting there doing that, and because he still wants to work, right?
Well, yes, and I try to say this respectfully, but he's got it. He's got it made where how he's set up currently, and I don't know how to say that respectfully.
You mean he's overpaid, or he doesn't work?
He doesn't work.
Oh, well, that my whole idea sucks then. I was assuming the guy was productive. Okay, so you need him to exit. Okay.
Yes, the older brother I could see working with more than the younger, which complicates it. So
I got you. Well, I think then you're probably going to have to sit down with the 3 of them, mom, or if you sit down with mom at all, or with the 2 guys, and maybe come up with some kind of an interim thing that says, okay, I can't do 7, I can do 3.
Okay.
I'll mentor here for 3 years, and then I'm going to become the stockholder, and you guys are going to go, and both of you, and I'm going to take the majority of the profits and throw them at the number that we've agreed to until that number is covered. And so 80% of my profits are going to go towards that until we hit that number. I'm going to live on almost nothing. I'm going to take a living wage out of this is all, so that we get you guys paid out. And take the net profit of the business times 4 or 5, and that's the valuation of the business. And then we're going to pay that out of profits, and you should be done in 3 to 4 years doing that. And that's just the payout. But they need to exit the building at the 36th month when you make the purchase then, because you don't want this guy there. Okay? And that's not, you were kind about it, but that's what you were saying. And if they don't want to do that, and they want you to wait 7 years, I think you go open your own thing. Because the only downside of you opening your own thing is the customer base. You've got to go get customers, and it's going to take you a little while to build that up. But I'm not going to sit in this. I'm not going to sit in this situation where this guy doesn't work and is getting paid. He's not in a position that you can respect him, and it's going to be frustrating to everyone involved if we just hold on to that. Because he wants to stay in this sacred cow type seat. And we just got to break the variable on that, man. So, hey, thank you for calling in. You sound like a sharp young guy. I appreciate your respect for the founders there. That's always a good thing to have. And also respecting yourself enough to say, I don't want to sit here 7 years. I want to be 34 before I can do this. I need to be an owner before I do that. So, and you could just say something to them like, hey, guys, my goal was to own something by the time I'm 30. If I can do that here and own this, that's 3 years from now. I think we can work a deal. But gosh, if we can't, then I'm probably going to have to think about something else. So y'all talk about it and figure out how that might look. And let's talk it through. I appreciate the opportunity, and I appreciate being with you and all those kinds of things. Just be kind and respectful. You're an honorable guy. The way you carry yourself, your language structure and everything's incredible. Way to go, stud. Way to go. Hey, folks, remember, better a weary warrior than a quivering critic. This world needs more high-quality leaders. So take courage and lead. This is the EntreLeadership Podcast. I'm Dave Ramsey, your host.